Hey y'all, how are all my beautiful friends doing? I hope y'all all are having a great day, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Welcome back to Crime Time with Mal. If you are new, hi and welcome. My name is Mallory, and over here we cover missing and unsolved cases as well as cold cases. Now, sometimes we do throw in some solved cases, but just to give us a little breather, but my passion is missing, unsolved, cold cases. If that is something you would be interested in, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. We have some amazing subscribers over here. I love each and every single one of you, and I cannot thank you enough for all your support that you are giving my channel. Y'all are blowing me away, truly blowing me away, and I cannot thank you enough. Today's video, now I have done some of these videos on my channel, and I do have playlists of like if it was murder or unalive situations, and that is kind of what we are dealing with today. And y'all, I have not heard, at least that I can find, really anyone speaking about this case. Now, we all remember the day that changed America. At least everyone here in America remembers this day, this horrible, tragic, heartbreaking day. I can remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, everything when I heard the news and the airplanes hit the Twin Towers. September 11th, 2001 was a day that, again, everyone is going to remember. That is now history. And it is also one of the most tragic times in another family's life. While all of the media in all of the United States is glued to their TV and their radios and consumed with these tragic events happening at ground zero, Nicole's alleged murder and staged unalive attempt was completely buried in the headlines. It has now been over 2 decades, and Nicole and her loved ones have never seen justice. And to me, I don't know what the heck is taking so long. Nicole Parsons Bucki was born on October 16th, 1973. Now, I could not find out a lot about her past. I did find out that her mom was a very young mother, and Nicole was described as having a $1 million smile. At the time, Nicole was living in Providence, Rhode Island, and on September 11th, 2001, while you yourself probably, again, remember where you were on this day, the Parsons family was learning that their daughter had been murdered. Now let's go over the timeline of what we know. On September 9th, 2001 at 11:45 p.m., just a few days before Nicole was found, Nicole's neighbor ended up calling 911 because Nicole and her boyfriend Huggy were in an argument. Now Huggy, and I say Huggy because that's not his real name, and it hasn't been released what his real name is because he is a minor, or was a minor at this time, but they had a very rocky relationship. His birthday was October 1st, 1983. So there's a 10-year age difference. Now, no shame to couples with an age difference, but I just wanted to point that out there. There's a 10-year age difference. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In my case, it did not. Anyway, Officer Smith arrives at the house and sees 2 males walking away. When he calls out to them, they run. So Officer Smith goes inside the apartment. He finds Nicole, and she confirms that she did have a fight with her boyfriend. She said that the fight stemmed from him not liking that she went out that day. He grabbed her by the arm, drug her out of the apartment, and locked her out. And firefighters helped her back in. And this is according to police report. A few hours later, at 1:30 a.m. on September 10th, Huggy returns to Nicole's apartment. Now the door is locked, so he's yelling and trying to kick the door in and trying to make Nicole open the door to let him in. From what I've seen now, it's a little blurry, but I guess Huggy ends up going home to his grandmother's house. That's where he lives, or he was at the time. And they end up arresting Huggy at his grandmother's house, or godmom's house, I'm sorry. They end up charging him with domestic simple. After the police leave, a neighbor of Nicole's ends up staying with her until 9 a.m. Now around this same time, Huggy is released from jail under a verbal no contact order and was told to stay away from Nicole. Now at this point, Nicole is telling her neighbor like she is completely exhausted, she's done, she's ready to leave, and she is going to leave him. Now, Nicole's neighbor ends up leaving and she tells her that I'm just gonna leave for a little bit, but I promise you I will come back to check on you later. Well, that afternoon around 3 p.m., Huggy returns back to Nicole's apartment, this time with relatives, and he is demanding to get his stuff. At this time, Nicole is actually on a phone call with one of her friends and she is saying, hey, Huggy and his family are here and they are going to kill me. Police arrive at her apartment again, but they don't arrest Huggy, even though he has this verbal no contact order. He's not supposed to contact her, let alone be around her. So I'm confused why he wasn't arrested. If they're not gonna be arrested when these, and this happens so often, y'all, but if they're not gonna be arrested when these orders are given out, why give out the dang order in the first place? Just my thought. A little sassy here, but just my thought. Now again, this is a little weird. I don't know if Huggy ended up leaving or if they just like acted like they left when the police got there and they really stayed and like hid somewhere, or if they came back. But around 11 p.m., Huggy and his brothers are there hanging out in the hallway, still demanding for Nicole to give him his stuff. And I'm sure at this point, Nicole is absolutely terrified. And some of y'all are probably thinking like, okay, well, why not just open the door and let the man get his stuff? But a lot of y'all, I think you know why she is not letting him in. He is pissed, and Lord knows what he's gonna do to her if he's already dragged her outside, and they have not had a very good relationship, allegedly. So, you know, just letting y'all see different sides before I get comments about that stuff. So 11:45 rolls around, 45 minutes later, and Nicole's neighbor sees Huggy kicking the door, begging on the door, yelling at Nicole to be let inside. And then 20 or so minutes later, just after midnight, the neighbor arrives back at Nicole's apartment. So this is now technically September 11th. Nicole is not answering the door for her neighbor, and the neighbor is obviously concerned because she knows that Nicole is expecting her to come back, so she ends up trying to get into the apartment. She breaks the lock with a screwdriver and notices that the whole entire apartment is pitch black, except for the bathroom light is on. Her neighbor is calling Nicole's name and Nicole is not answering. And so the neighbor is like concerned, thinking that Huggy might be in the apartment. So she leaves the apartment and calls her boyfriend, who's at her apartment, and tells him to come over to check out and like explains the situation. Her boyfriend ends up finding Nicole face down, fully submerged in the bathtub, with not a lot of water and fully clothed. She is curled up in a fetal position with less than a foot of water. The shower curtain is also ripped down and there is a blow dryer sitting next to the bathtub. The neighbor and her boyfriend immediately call in 911, and at 12:22 a.m., responding officers initially called it in as a However, detectives start to find like little knickknacks wrapped up in tissue paper and things placed in her suitcase and clothes packed in bags like she's moving. There are also groceries on the counter. So It just didn't make sense. Why would you be packing up, obviously about to move or go somewhere for at least a very long time, and have groceries on the counter not put away and then go try to unalive yourself? I'm sorry, that does not make any sense to me in my personal opinion. By 5 a.m., detectives treat this case as a suspicious death and they start collecting evidence for a homicide investigation, which I can't honestly begin to tell y'all how much I appreciate hearing this, because a lot of the cases I cover like this, they're like, oh, that looks like an unalive attempt or unaliving case, and we're just gonna close the case and that's that. So that is just very nice to hear. Detectives start to immediately interview neighbors and tried to interview Huggy, but somebody ended up calling back on Huggy's behalf and said that he will not be speaking without a warrant. Detectives also rule out a robbery gone wrong because there was buckets of change everywhere and like really expensive jewelry. So if it was a robbery, obviously they would have taken that. And it is at this exact time, while everyone is glued to their TV watching what is happening at Ground Zero, Nicole's family is notified that Nicole was murdered. That same day, Nicole's autopsy came back and it said that water was found in her nasal cavity, indicating she was underwater, breathing, and died by drowning. Now get this, according to detectives, she had bruises around her neck and marks as if someone held her head under the water. Nicole's pancreas was also hemorrhaging due to blunt force trauma. She had bruises on her arm from where he grabbed her arms and dragged her out of the apartment, and his nickname was found tattooed on her body. Toxicology reports came back with Wellbutrin, which is an antidepressant, and also diet pills, but not enough to cause an overdose. Also, no sign of electrocution. Nicole's ex did receive multiple charges for DV and also violating orders of protection, but he hasn't been directly linked to Nicole's murder. Nicole's family is still strongly advocating for justice for Nicole and strongly urges the public to come forward if you have any information at all that could help resolve Nicole's case. You can call Providence Police Department or Crime Stoppers of Rhode Island, and I will leave those phone numbers down in the description box below. Now there is a reward. I think it's $1,000 for any information leading to the arrest of a suspect regarding Nicole's case. And now what's really, really bad is over these years, evidence has actually been lost. Somehow it was lost when they ended up moving different locations. It was lost and nobody knows how. And it hasn't been revealed exactly how much evidence has been lost, and still to this day, nobody has been arrested. Her mom did make a Facebook group called Justice for Nicole, and if you are interested in joining and keeping up with the case, I will as well. Obviously, continue to keep y'all updated with this case, but if you want to follow along, I will leave that link down below as well. Let me know what y'all's thoughts and opinions are. What do you think? Do you think it was just an accident, or do you think something else happened? Please be respectful regarding the family members and anyone I mentioned down below. This is all obviously alleged, and just be respectful. I mean, I know my opinion, but we won't. I think y'all know. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Thank you so very much for watching and all your continued support and your likes and your comments and your shares and just your appreciation for me doing these videos. I don't want y'all to thank me. I honestly don't. I want to thank you. I'm the one that needs to be thanking you. Y'all don't need to be thanking me. I want to spread awareness for these cases, and I appreciate y'all helping me get these videos out there. So thank you. Okay? Thank you. My heart and prayers and thoughts, I hope I can do more, and I hope this video helps and reaches a lot of people, because my heart goes out to the family, and just the unknown of things just eats away at you. And it's been way too long. They deserve answers, and Nicole deserves justice. Her family deserves to see justice. So if you want to watch more videos, wait till the end and an end screen will pop up. You can watch more videos there, or head to my playlist over here on YouTube, and there's a whole slew of videos that y'all are more than welcome to watch if you want to. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you join this amazing community over here. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It not only helps out my channel, but it also helps get these videos out into the YouTube algorithm to help spread awareness for these missing people, especially those that don't get the attention that they deserve. So I would appreciate it so much. I know their family would appreciate it as well. And yeah, hit that bell notification so you don't miss whenever I go live or whenever I upload a video. And I hope you'll have an amazing weekend, and stay safe, stay aware of your surroundings, and I will see you in my next video. I love y'all, and bye y'all.